When I first started utilizing the gamification style strategy for my investing journey, I began to see the biggest improvements across my long-term portfolio, and not only that, it became more fun and more addicting than ever. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the exact strategy that I've been using for the last several years and how it's helped me significantly build out my 7-figure portfolio of dividend-paying stocks and ETFs that now pay me north of $6,500 per month. So if you're personally building out a long-term portfolio of different dividend-paying stocks and ETFs and you want to learn more about this strategy, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. So just to lay some groundwork, this right here is more or less every single stock and ETF that I currently own across multiple different brokerages. And for some more context, I think I bought my first ever dividend paying stocks around 7 or so years ago. Now, I started my investment journey just like anyone else. I started by buying a few shares of a stock and instantly became addicted to the idea of owning a portion of a company, but even more specifically, owning a piece of a company that was going to pay me a set amount of dividend income on a monthly or quarterly basis. And to be even more specific, here are some of the early days of my early buys for ticker symbol O Realty Income, where I was buying a few shares at a time. And one of the first dividends I received from just Realty Income, this is back in the day, was around $1.14, which once again might sound goofy, but that instantly got me super motivated to buy more shares of Realty Income and get to the point to where I was not only earning $2 per month of dividends, but to the point to where a few months later I was earning $7 per month, and later on to the point to where as of right now, just from Realty Income alone, I'm currently earning roughly $750 per month in dividends. Now, even though pretty much every investor out there that starts buying stocks or ETFs, building out a portfolio, makes a lot of rookie mistakes in the early days by maybe buying into higher yielding stocks or ETFs, yield traps, or buying into stocks that might go out of business, buying into penny stocks, all the typical things that most investors do in the early days. I myself also made some of those mistakes, but for the most part, I've always kept my strategy pretty tight, and that was to build a long-term portfolio that I'm looking to hold for several years and not sell them, and stocks and ETFs that all have the potential to move up in share price, but also pay me dividend income ongoingly. Because although like lots of investors, I want my net worth to go up, I want my stocks to double and triple in share price, one of my main concerns, even in the early days, was to build a portfolio that cash flowed me a significant amount of money every single month on average. So then active income or work could be a complete option later on in life if I chose it to be. But honestly, not even trying to be dramatic, something changed significantly some random afternoon. I think this was probably around 2 or 3 years ago. I was reading something, maybe it was on Twitter, or maybe it was even on YouTube, and someone was talking about gamification and basically how they use this strategy to help them stay motivated and just to be more entertained with sort of a rigorous task. Now, I'm going to share exactly how I've been using gamification for my dividend growth investing journey and how it's helped me significantly. But first, let's go over what gamification actually is. So right here it says, what is gamification? Gamification is a strategy that integrates entertaining and immersive gaming elements into non-game contexts to enhance engagement and motivate certain behaviors. Gamification uses game design and mechanics such as badges, leaderboards, points, and rewards to encourage active participation and make tasks fun and enjoyable. Gamification is used in various fields, including education, marketing, employee training, health and wellness, and customer engagement. For instance, education applications might use gamification to make learning more engaging for students, while businesses might use it to improve employee performance, encourage customer loyalty, reward employees, etc. Successful gamification requires an understanding of target audiences, their motivation, and the context in which the strategy is applied. It then goes through different ideas and intricacies with gamification and how different things can work depending on what you're working on. Now, out of all the different benefits of gamification, the number one way that I applied it to my investing career, my investing journey, was the motivational and behavior change. And this honestly changed overnight for me. It says motivation and behavioral change. Game systems drive desired behaviors by providing incentives and positive feedback loops and a sense of progress. That right there, the sense of progress, was huge for me. In various contexts, they can motivate participants, encourage healthy habits, and improve learning outcomes. So maybe at this point you're a little bit confused on what I actually did to utilize gamification for my dividend growth investing journey. And if you're a little bit confused, just stay tuned. I will explain everything. So on that random afternoon, whenever I came across the idea of gamification in the context of investing, I no longer looked at my portfolio, every single stock and ETF that I was currently holding the same. At that given moment, I looked at my portfolio and broke it down in a basket of different stocks and ETFs with, of course, the amount of shares of different stocks or ETFs that I had. Then the way that I gamified it, I looked at some of the main stocks and ETFs that I was purchasing regularly, and this time it was Realty Income stock, which I personally have been buying a ton of over the last few years. Now remember, the context for my personal investing strategy is largely built around the fact that I'm looking to gain more and more forward monthly, forward annual dividend income on an ongoing basis. That's one of my main objectives for me personally. Now, I'm of course not saying that's the right objective or that's an objective and strategy that you need to deploy, but 100% my early on strategy for my dividend growth investing career was to build a portfolio that has the potential to grow over time, but also to pay me cash flow, more and more cash flow, hopefully, month after month after month. Now, to go back to the example and the early gamification tactics I used, because realty income for the most part, let's just say as of right now, pays around 26.25 cents per share per month in dividend income. That means that if I'm able to somehow buy more shares of realty income, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 shares more of realty income on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, whatever the case might be, I'm going to then receive forward more dividend income than I was previously. So the gamification and the strategy that really began to be a lot of fun to me is that I would then look at cash balance or even extra spending money that I had a lot different, and I would look at $55 and not think that it's $55, but think that it's a potential 26 cents or so more per month as far as dividend income goes from realty income. Now, I'm 100% also not saying this is a healthy strategy, because you start to look at all your money as sort of already being allocated into more different dividend paying stocks and ETFs, which is basically what I've been doing for the last several years. But by doing so and gamifying my entire portfolio, by breaking down every single dollar and looking at it as a potential opportunity to bring more dollars or more pennies into my portfolio, I've been doing that over the past few years, and it's been a ton of fun to build a leaderboard, quote unquote, or a number of shares across my portfolio of different stocks and ETFs that are now paying me more and more dividend income every single month ongoingly. Now, what's also awesome is at this point, my $6,500 on average, more or less dividend income that I receive across my portfolios is still being redeployed into more shares of different stocks and ETFs, which is compounding my portfolio at the fastest rate I've ever seen it compound at. And I'm not going to go into the weeds here, but you can look at things like SCHD, which historically has paid more and more in dividend income over time, and extrapolate how much $1 or $100 into SCHD is really going to give you in the future. But by gamifying the entire portfolio and just by sort of setting up a leaderboard, it's allowed me to stay extremely motivated and have a lot more fun investing than I did previously. Now, I'll say it again, I 100% don't think you need to look at your investing journey or your portfolio the exact same way that I do, but I do 100% know one thing that you should do for certain. You need to come up with an investing strategy, a thesis that you really believe in, and a strategy that's really going to solve everything you're looking for long term. And by doing that, I promise you, during times when the market is super green, during times of the market when it's super red, you can always go back to your original strategy and know that you have a sound thesis that you're standing tall on top of. But now that I broke down the gamification tactics that I personally have used over the past few years and what's kept me extremely motivated by building my long-term portfolio, I lastly want to hear from you guys down below. What is the number one way you stay motivated to keep investing day after day, month after month for your long-term portfolio? Let us know some insight down below in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe for more future content like this. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the market. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.